My name is Jeff Morgan. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've just talked about the clueless Jimmy Blacklock, and he was clueless unless he was willingly an accomplice to this criminality that has taken place in our courts in the state of Texas. I'm going to talk about another person right now. This would be Evan Young, and this is going to be the compromised Evan Young. Compromised Evan Young, Supreme Court Justice, the compromised Evan Young. And I'm going to call him compromised because from everything that I have read, for all intents and purposes, he was compromised. Evan Young used to work for Baker Botts law firm. Baker Botts, who is Baker Botts? What does Baker Botts have to do with anything? Well, if you go back to March 4th of 2022, Baker Botts, LAMBDA Legal, and the ACLU represents plaintiffs in suit to block Texas from investigating parents who support their transgender children. On March the 1st, 2022, Baker Botts LLP joined LAMBDA Legal, the ACLU, and the ACLU of Texas in filing a lawsuit to challenge recent actions by Texas state executives to expand the statutory definition of child abuse to encompass the provision of medically necessary care to transgender minors. This is so much crap. Tell me what medically necessary care is to transgender minors. The medically necessary care would be get them back on track. Let them know that they're a boy. Have them wait till puberty at the very least so they can go through puberty, because puberty clarifies in at least 85% of the cases or more that any type of gender dysphoria that a person has. Until that time, do not affirm the delusion of a child who thinks that he is a girl or a girl who thinks that she is a boy. Biologically, a girl is a girl, a boy is a boy. At the DNA level, unless you have some type of screwed up DNA there, the DNA reveals whether you're a boy or a girl. But Baker Botts and LAMBDA Legal, and LAMBDA Legal also always wants to be out there helping to advance the LGBTQ agenda. This is their big thing. But Baker Botts joined with LAMBDA Legal, and Evan Young worked for Baker Botts. I'm wondering if maybe with Baker Botts, if maybe that this is a payback to them because he worked for them for a while. And lo and behold, I do have something here about LAMBDA Legal. Founded in 1973, LAMBDA Legal is the oldest and largest national legal organization whose mission is to achieve full recognition of the civil rights of lesbians, gay men, bisexuals, transgender people. And again, what is a transgender person? Transgender is a mental condition. It is a mental illness. So we have lesbians, gay men, bisexuals, mentally ill, transgender believing people, and everyone living with HIV through impact litigation, education, and public policy work. Baker Botts teamed up with LAMBDA Legal. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we do not charge our clients for legal representation advocacy, and we receive no government funding. We depend on contributions from supporters around the country. What we do, we impact litigation. We select cases that will have the greatest impact in protecting and advancing the rights of LGBT people and those with HIV. Education. We lead high-impact public education campaigns to help people exercise their rights they have and to build public support for equality, public recognition of mental illness, the transgender mental illness. Public policy. We advocate for public policy at the local, state, and federal levels to improve the lives of LGBT people, people affected by HIV, and their families and allies. Baker Botts aligned with LAMBDA Legal. June the 8th, 2022, this comes out from LAMBDA Legal. LAMBDA Legal, the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU of Texas, along with Texas-based law firm Baker Botts LLP, today filed a new lawsuit in Texas State Court on behalf of PFLAG, National, and 3 Texas families. The suit requests that the court block state investigations of PFLAG families in Texas who are supporting their transgender children with medically necessary health care. Medically necessary health care for transgender children would be to get them into counseling and tell them, you're not the opposite sex. You're under a delusion right now. You are a boy. You may feel this way, go through puberty, and you'll probably have everything and probably everything will resolve itself. For nearly 50 years, PFLAG parents have united against government effort to harm their LGBTQ plus kids. By going after trans kids and their families, Governor Abbott has picked a fight with thousands of families in Texas. How many thousands of families actually have all these LGBTQ kids that are growing up this way? All I know is when I was in school, there was one person that we knew of that we thought, maybe, now this was a long time ago, maybe he was. I didn't know for sure, but there were rumors about him, just one person like that. And now we have half the classroom sometimes pretending that they're LGBTQ people. This is mental abuse. It is a brainwashing technique that has been put on us by the media, by Hollywood, by the LGBTQ activists. This is just, it's not based in reality. Governor Abbott has picked a fight with thousands of families in Texas and across the country who are united as members of PFLAG National, said Brian K. Bond, Executive Director of PFLAG National. Loving and affirming your child and empowering them to be themselves is the highest calling of any parent, no matter your child's gender. There are two sexes. There's male and there's female. There may be some physiological things that may cause some confusion, but there is no transgender. There is no transgender gene. There is no transgender. There is male and there is female. If it takes a court ruling to ensure that the law protects families who lead with love and support of transgender Texans, so be it. LAMBDA Legal, the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU of Texas, and Supreme Court Justice Evan Young's law firm that he worked for, BAKER BOTTS LLP. June the 8th, once again, we have the same article. BAKER BOTTS, LAMBDA Legal, and the ACLU represent PFLAG and Texas families in second suit to block state from investigating parents who support their transgender children. June the 23rd, 2022, BAKER BOTTS and LAMBDA Legal secure victory for transgender North Carolina. And so it's not just that they're working in Texas, they're working in North Carolina as well for the exact same thing. Once again, I would remind you that Justice Evan Young, who concurred with the clueless Jimmy Blacklock on his opinion, the compromised Evan Young, used to work for BAKER BOTTS. Did BAKER BOTTS help to secure him a position at the Supreme Court? I don't know. September 20th, 2022, another victory for Texas families of transgender youth. BAKER BOTTS, LAMBDA Legal, and the ACLU secure injunctive relief for PFLAG members. September 20th, 2022, the court's latest order in PFLAG versus Abbott extends injunctive relief to all Texas families who are members of PFLAG National, a national LGBTQ plus organization with 17 chapters in Texas, and to the Briggle family. And now there is another wonderful family, the Briggle family. Mr. Briggle actually teaches at UTD, the University of Texas in Denton. He's the guy that got up and was crying about his son that got investigated for child abuse. I don't mind that regular parents get investigated all the time, but the fact that he was performing things to affirm his child who's confused, who's underage, and he's up there crying in front of people, and he told Jeff Younger, fuck you. That's the guy, Mr. Briggle. But don't worry, he's got a Supreme Court Justice, Evan Young, compromised as he is, on the court. So I have a lot of suspicions regarding this Supreme Court opinion that came out, issued by the clueless Jimmy Blacklock and affirmed, seconded by the compromised Evan Young. I think there needs to be a lot more investigation done into this. This is child abuse. And if our Texas State Supreme Court, by a vote of 8-1, with only one person, John Devine, Supreme Court Justice John Devine, the only man with a spine of steel, the only man who's going to say this is abuse, dissenting, something is wrong in Texas. This needs to be investigated. It needs to be investigated now. Thank you.